I am hoping I am live. Let's see. Oh, if you are with me, let me know. Because YouTube is not showing me as live, which is really weird. Is there a different stream? This is just weird. I apologise if you are actually watching and this is an issue. Because it's showing me as upcoming, but OBS says I am live. Let's see. Why isn't this live? Maybe this one's live. So bizarre. I'm really sorry about about any delay, any problems that we're having. Apparently, I am completely incapable of doing anything. I'm hoping that you've not been put off by the delay due to technical issues. I am right. Stream Elements is running, brilliant. Oh, let's try this again. I am so sorry. I am trying to get used to using OBS, and it is still not my favourite thing. I'm not going to lie. So I apologise. I think that pretty much covers the problem that we've all been having in the last couple of weeks. The last couple of weeks has been a bit of a nightmare. So I apologise about all of that faff. I very much hope that you are still with me. What a nightmare. I really do apologise. How are you? It is Talko Tuesday. The first 4 minutes of this have been pure chaos. But it's Tuesday. You'll let me off, right? How are we all? How is your week so far? Last week was a complete nightmare, I think, for everyone. But I don't know, maybe something in the air, maybe. But people have really been struggling with their mental health and what's going on in life. It's just a nightmare. It is just a nightmare. And I think we all need a Talko Tuesday. We need to get it off our chests. We need to crowdsource ideas and get solidarity and all of those things. But know that I'm sending you love, and you are not alone in all of this struggle. You really aren't. It's so hard at the moment. Outside, it is windy. There are leaves all over my back garden. It's cold. It's very autumnal. Today is definitely a movie under a duvet day. And I'm so glad to hear that some of my friends are doing that today. But we all need that break. We all need a little bit of levity, and to know that we are not alone in going through all of this. Are we? That's how much of a faff this morning has been. My coffee's gone cold, which is even sadder, really. So I don't think we have anyone with us yet, which is good, because the people that are going to join us live aren't going to see the amount of nightmare that I had going live. If you're watching on replay, thank you very much for being here. You are appreciated, you are loved, and you have found me for a reason. You are here watching for a reason, for sure. I'd love to hear what's going on in your life at the moment. I think we're all going through a transition. And I find that this time of year is a bit like that anyway. We tend to transition with the seasons. Winter ends and spring comes in, and we all just feel just a little bit more buoyant and full of hope. And then summer is, the same. But we come into autumn, which is my favourite time of year, and we all get a little bit down. And life tends to get on top of us. And we're coming into all of my favourite holidays, Halloween and Christmas, which I love. But we all get bogged down with the responsibility of having to pay for those things. And, as pretty much all parents will know, this is the most popular time of the year for children to be born. So when kids go back to school, suddenly they've got all of these parties and other things that you have to factor in. And you just don't have as much time as you need for yourself. And this week's theme for me is very much encouraging people to have a bit of me time, a bit of self-care, because, oh boy, do we need it. I know for a fact my life has been hectic this last week, for sure. It is just all over the place, isn't it? If you are here watching, do say hi. Let me know who you are and where you're from, and how I can better serve you today. How can I help you through things today? Because we all need that support. We all need that support. I have been sat here for a little bit this morning. I am taking apart an old piece of work. I'm what is colloquially known as frogging. So I am pulling it apart. There's something really satisfying about it, even though you put, hours and hours of work, and in my case, that's, 60 plus hours of work into doing it. There's something really sad about taking it apart. But there's something also really refreshing about it. It's a really satisfying process, because it's very gentle. But I'm turning it into, I'm winding it into balls of wool, balls of yarn, and I am making a really nice fluffy rug out of it. I bet you didn't know you could make rugs out of crochet, but you can. This is a project for me. So I'm bouncing between a project for us at home and a project for a friend. Because the project for the friend is making a pattern as I go. And sometimes you need to take a step back to take a leap forward, which is good advice for life. But you know, doing something like this for me, it's I haven't got much done. But it's kind of relaxing because one side is dead easy and the other side is this loop stitch, which is, you know, lots and lots of tiny loops to make it nice and fluffy. It's going to be washable. It's going to be hooverable because of the dog. I'm making something for us to have as a family, because the kids love sitting on the floor with Lego, and this is ideal for that. When we moved in, we had to get rid of our old rug because it smelled like old lady carpet, and no matter how many times I cleaned it, it's because of the dog. You know, we have a big dog that sheds a lot of fur, and it was a pure wool rug, which was just so hard to keep clean. So yeah. And I'm trying to have that time for us. You know, it's a family project. Sorry, I'm just double checking to make sure everything is fine. So yeah, it's, you know, time to reflect, I think, and work out what we want next. This is a perfect time as we're in this transition anyway, and our mental health is something that we need to factor in. I think now is a really great time to kind of go, okay, how do I do something that is going to be fulfilling, that, you know, it doesn't have to make you money. It doesn't have to be a big thing. It's about moving forward, working out what our next personal goal is, because a happy worker is a productive worker. So it helps us. Husker, no. He's in our bedroom and he can see out of our bedroom window, which he loves, but it does mean that he barks at people. He's in our room. What was I saying? Yeah. So doing something for ourselves actually makes us more productive with our work, whatever that work is, or our commitments to other people. So, you know, if you volunteer or you are part of an online community, you support my YouTube channel or other people's YouTube channels, it is really good for us to make sure we've got our priorities and we're doing something for ourselves. And I am, you know, I'm going through a real kick of encouraging people to do that right now. Self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. And I would love to hear what you are doing to look after yourselves at the moment. I would love to hear how you are factoring in that time, because it can be really hard. It can seem almost insurmountable to get that time, to factor that in. We're all so busy. Modern life and society is not designed to treat us like people, and sometimes we need to act and treat ourselves like people. So I very much want to know how you are doing that. For me, while I'm sat here waiting to set up, despite my idiocy this morning with the OBS issues, and well, no, it's not OBS, it's me. I'm learning. It's fine. You know, I've been taking that time to set up a few more balls of yarn out of this giant project, because this is going to take, I don't even know how many balls of yarn. I'm currently on my 4th ball, and this thing isn't even a foot long yet. So it's going to take loads of balls of yarn. And I want to set myself up for success by having plenty to call on. So, yeah, that's what I'm up to. The schedule I had in mind, I sat down a couple of weeks ago and I was like, right, how am I going to shuffle things around with both kids now at school? How am I going to shuffle things around and give myself plenty of work time, plenty of me time, plenty of time to deal with the house and other responsibilities, while also not overdoing it? Hey, Ida Think So is here. How are you doing? I appreciate you being here. You are wonderful. You are loved. So I went through this schedule, following my own advice on routine, setting you up for success, which is a live I did a couple of weeks ago. And it kind of fell apart. My youngest, she's neurodivergent and she's struggling with the transition to school. So we've reduced her hours until she's in a good routine and it's not overwhelming her so much. So my Talko Tuesday is slightly shorter now because she needs picking up from school. So I will go until for another hour probably if people want me to. Yes, absolutely. Distraction is fine. Escapism is good for you in moderation. It's like anything, isn't it? So I am so glad you are here and that you are having a bit of time for you. You are very much loved, and I am so glad you are here. And congratulations on being a moderator. You are now a moderator for my channel. We've talked about it before. I've not just sprung this on Ida Think So. At least I hope not. So my kind of routine went to pot. And then last week, obviously, if you've listened to my podcast, which was released today, or you've listened to or watched yesterday's video, we lost a good friend last week, and that threw everything out of whack. It really did. Grief is a terrible thing. Welcome to Wrench World. I am glad I got a yay out of you, and I hope you're okay, honey. So, sometimes best laid plans of mice and men, we have to step back and readjust, which is what I'm doing. But there's so many illnesses going around. I'm fighting off cold. And, my physical conditions aren't great at the moment. I'm really fatigued. So, it happens to all of us, doesn't it? I don't know anyone that doesn't get, weeks or even months where you're just like, why do I bother? And that's okay. That's okay, because life is hard. It really is. Hey, it's Steve. And Yvonne hates injustice. No, you're absolutely fine, Yvonne. You are not late. You are perfectly on time because it's the time you're here. I love you guys. How are you doing this week? We were discussing the fact that the last couple of weeks have just been a nightmare. They really have. And we need to change that. We need change. It is the transition, I think, to autumn. It's definitely autumnal here, and it's a time where we end up reflecting whether we mean to or not, and sometimes that can be a good thing, right? Sometimes that's not a bad thing at all. So, how are you doing? How has your last couple of weeks been? I think it's really important to kind of have that check-in, isn't it? Sorry, just checking to make sure I've not missed anything. The one thing I'm honest, about using OBS is I can't bring up your chat. I miss bringing up your chat. and everything feels like it's in a weird place. I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to go back to StreamYard. I tried. The problem with StreamYard is unless I pay for it, it doesn't allow me to use like the alerts and things, which is sad. I don't think so. Just ate 4 donuts. Do you know, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I would. I'm okay with I fully endorse you eating 4 donuts. I'm a terror for donuts. I really like donuts. I've got to be in the mood for them, but when I am, I could quite cheerfully chow down on the whole thing. I'm terrible. It's like biscuits. I have a huge thing for biscuits at the moment, and if I open a packet, I'll eat too many, and I really need to curb that. I'm eating my feelings right now, and I shouldn't. That's okay in moderation, but I've not been moderating myself, and I need to. I'm okay, Yvonne. Yeah, you know, physical health and mental health and all the rest of that. I am a work in progress, and that's okay. Yeah, I want donuts now as well, Yvonne. I am proper jealous. From now on, unless you bring enough for the rest of the class, then I don't think it should be allowed. Also, I don't think so is the first person to bring up food. You get today's food award, or raspberry. I don't know which one. You just made your weight loss goal. Well done. Celebrate with a couple of donuts and get back on it. It's fine. It's fine. I need to get back onto eating healthily and properly, because yeah, I'm not doing as well as I could do, which makes me sad. I mean, it's the mirror test, isn't it? If you're comfortable with how you look, then that's all that matters. But I would feel more comfortable if I dropped a few pounds. It's not a massive issue. It's not that I'm unfit. You know, I can walk a distance. It hurts. And I shouldn't most days. But you know, it's just for my own well-being and how I feel about myself. Oh, you had raspberry donuts. Yummy. I think I prefer raspberry to strawberry. Definitely. If you haven't already, and if you're enjoying the stream so far, then do hit that like button. It's not for YouTube, it's for me. It's so that I know whether people are enjoying what I do. If you have anything on your mind that you want to share with us, that you want to get off your chest or get solidarity for, maybe crowdsource some ideas on how to deal with a situation, or, you know, want to share a win, we could do with some good news. So let us celebrate with you. You just need to fit into clothes that you don't want to buy anymore. I know, right? That the struggle is real. I have a bunch of really nice clothes that I no longer fit in, that I would like to eventually. I miss wearing them. Really nice, smart clothes. But yeah, I mean, the rest of my clothes are just tatty. Hence the way I look today. I did have a shower for you though, so... Oh, Yvonne hates injustice. My tablets have helped me gain weight. Only problem is I have to buy new clothes. You are doing so well on gaining weight, and, giving yourself more energy and all of those good things. But yeah, I feel you on buying new clothes. It adds up. It really does. I mean, I love a good charity shop for that kind of thing. And you can get some really good bargains. But it still adds up. It really does. So, how's Stee? Stee's gone quiet. How is Stee? What's Stee up to at the moment? Yeah, definitely hearts up for Yvonne on her weight gain journey. She's doing amazingly well. I know you enjoy a good charity shop. I do think so. We've spoken about that a few times on streams, haven't we? We just like a bargain. That's all it is. We just like a bargain. And there's nothing wrong with being sensible. Pre-loved clothes are just as good as brand new. In fact, sometimes they're better because some brand new clothes are just awful in quality. Aww, hearts up for Yvonne. Has anyone else got anything else going on in their lives at the moment that they want to share? Yeah, I know you enjoy a good charity shop. That's really what it's all about, isn't it? Pre-loved. Yeah, that's the other thing is you never look the same as other people. If you live in an area, we don't have a lot of clothing shops around here, but we have got a bunch of charity shops. And, I have never seen two people wearing the same thing. Whereas the last area I lived in, because everyone got their clothes from like Asda and we had a TK Maxx, I think it was. And loads of people were all wearing the same things. Oh, Steve is playing Baldur's Gate. You've just got PC Tech to order you a new graphics card. Awesome. Baldur's Gate is one of those games that I have a lot of kind of connection to. Because the original came out when I first started playing PC games. Also, PC Tech is amazing with all of that stuff. I mean, as his name suggests. But no, he is absolutely a gem to our whole community. I love him to bits for what he does for all of us. Yvonne, yeah, it is absolutely recycling. And we should be doing more of that because clothes going into landfill are doing a huge amount of damage to the environment because most of them have synthetic elements to them and they take forever to biodegrade. They really do. I think a lot of towns now are more charity shops than they are anything else. Our little town is going. The problem is the council lower the rates and they get a bunch of new businesses in and then they hike the rates back up and people go bust or have to close down their shops and go online because the rates are too high. And it goes in that cycle. If they just kept them static, the town would be reinvigorated. And I think a lot of small towns and villages in the UK are going through that at the moment. It's just this constant cycle where we are. Yep, hearts for PC Tech. Steve, I'm sure I would love the new Baldur's Gate. I'm sure I would. Unfortunately, I cannot afford any games. It makes me sad. I miss gaming. I really do miss gaming. The other half has got his Xbox downstairs and uses the big telly for it. And I do sit there, what he plays isn't always my thing. But I do sit there at the moment because he's playing Starfield. Which is a really good game. And I'm watching that and kind of going, kind of miss gaming as a hobby. Ida, we are all about recycling. Recycling is a really good thing. Definitely cheering that on. You've got a charity shop just round the corner. Oh, that would be so tempting for me. Can't find any clean clothes. I just pop round to the charity shop. Not that I can afford to do that either. Money's on my mind at the moment. I'm really sorry, folks. I will get over it. There are times I don't know whether you all feel this way, and I'm sure I'm not alone. But you put so much work into what you do, and you just don't feel like you're getting anywhere financially. Like I don't need to make millions. I never think I'm going to be a millionaire, but just making life just that little bit easier for all of us would be really nice. Like an extra couple of £100 a month would make the world of difference, I think, to all of us. I am not surprised that charity shop is really tempting. My goal at the moment is to try and make life easier for people. I can't make it easier financially for everyone, but I can certainly be here for you. I'm doing a lot of checking in at the moment between grief and kind of other things going on. I did some crisis work this week, and I'm checking in on people because the work starts at that point. It doesn't, the ideal time to realise you're heading in that direction is beforehand, but we don't all have the luxury of that foresight. It's the hard work on rebuilding and looking after ourselves starts at that point. So I'm doing a lot of checking in with people. I don't think so. Today I was told I had 20 hours of holiday to take before the end of the year. That is great news. That is awesome. Have you got any plans for it? Or are you just going to sit under a duvet with a good film? Because I endorse that as much as I do going away. Just a change. The phrase "a change is as good as a rest" is actually quite accurate, isn't it? Oh, my coffee is definitely broken. Yvonne, we love you. Always there when we need you. Remember to focus on yourself too. Yeah, absolutely. Like I was saying earlier, I'm focusing on creative projects. I'm focusing on being with you all. Because, we're only one person. We can't give what we don't have. And self-care isn't selfish. It's necessary to be able to continue looking after other people. So I'm definitely doing that. I am taking my own advice at the moment, which we all struggle with, but I am. I do think so. You're going to spend those 20 hours of holiday just piling the weight back on. I don't blame you. It's okay every now and again to just let loose, isn't it? Steve, I've seen a lot about Starfield. People are saying it's Skyrim, but in space. It is. It's kind of Fallout / Skyrim in space, but it's really it's very open world. It's huge. There's a lot of different aspects to it. So there's a lot of pick and choose and, choose your own adventure type stuff, moral dilemmas and all sorts of things. And it's a lot of fun to watch as well. I'm enjoying watching him, but he's really enjoying the game. He's one of those people that he likes to complete everything. So this game is well worth every penny in terms of the gameplay. There are far too many games out there where, the price tag is so high, 60, 70 quid. And you only get like 6 hours, 7 hours, 10 hours out of the game. So yeah, highly recommend it. Work is your exercise. I get it. Housework is my exercise. Kind of bending, stretching, lifting, scrubbing, all of those things. That's totally exercise. Totally exercise. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy doing those things, but weather like this, I would definitely rather be under a duvet watching a good film. Yvonne Hates Injustice is also an achievement hunter. The other half is 100% an achievement junkie. He likes to complete absolutely everything. The problem is he also gets emotionally very invested in a storyline. And there's a couple of games where he's not been able to make like the last decision for the character because he can't choose between two factions or, whatever it is. So it cuts both ways, doesn't it? If you get emotionally invested, making those decisions for your character can be really hard. Yep, trophies up for Yvonne for sure. It's like I like achievements. See, playing Diablo, even though I know that I don't have to, I like filling in the maps. I'm terrible for that. Oh, Steve, you get emotionally invested. So you get it. You can get. It's much like watching a really good TV series or a really good film. You do get emotionally invested in the characters and the storyline as if it's real. And there's nothing wrong with that escapism, for sure. And I've spoken about it before. There are some TV shows that are just my comfort shows, but I still get, the goosebumps or the racing heart when something happens. I know I know the outcome, but I'm still invested in the characters, 20 years after the series aired. The Last of Us was like that, hard to make decisions. Yeah, absolutely. Fallout 4 was like that. And Red Dead Redemption was another one that, I know people struggled with. Really good games. And gaming is a really good therapeutic tool. So for veterans who are struggling with their mental health after coming out of the military or going through what they went through, gaming can actually be a really helpful tool in dealing with PTSD and stuff like that, because you get emotionally invested, but also because it keeps you are in that moment making those decisions. You're almost role playing out what's going through your mind. And I think gaming can be good for all of us, but gaming can become a crutch and an addiction. I can't speak. So it's all in moderation, isn't it? It's about making sure we're looking after ourselves outside of that escapism and not making that escapism everything. Because I've been lost in gaming. I've lost way too much time to, I started with Ash Ron's Call, which everyone here is probably too young to remember. And it was kind of an obscure game. I'm really grateful for it because I met some lifelong friends through it, and through them, other lifelong friends. but yeah, I could easily lose 18 hours to playing that. And I went through a similar phase when WoW first came out, World of Warcraft. One Tree Hill, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can have games or TV shows or films that are just that comfort. I do the same with Gilmore Girls. And the more I watch Gilmore Girls, the less I like Lorelai, because she is a really selfish person. But there's something, it's fast paced, it's funny, it's witty. And I like, all of the characters, really. Oh, bunch of notifications just turned up on my PC. At one point, my game glitched and I had the option to break up with someone I wasn't romancing. I felt so sad. I upset her. Had to reload. Exactly. We can get so invested. Oh, you have no time for fun. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You have fun. Yeah, Yvonne, loved Gilmore Girls. There's something universal about it. There's something almost timeless about that kind of thing, right? Gil Morton. Yeah, stupid autocorrect. Yeah, there are just some series that are like that. I go back to The West Wing, Bones, Supernatural. I get so invested in Supernatural, and I still haven't watched the last ever episode or the last few episodes. Because I know what's coming. I can't do it. I want to go back to watching it. There's something really wonderful about it, and the funny episodes in that are just hilarious. And I've used some. So when I set up Twitch, I set up some sound alerts, and some of those are from Supernatural. All of my phone alerts, all of my notification noises and my ringtone and everything are from The West Wing, because it brings me joy. Ida Think So does make us laugh. She really does. She is a wonderful human being. And I love our interactions. I love our interactions anyway. It's just such a lovely, loving bunch. I've been catching up on a bunch of YouTube viewing. Normally my watch later list is kind of around 60 videos, and I can keep on top of that day by day. But it went up to 120 over the weekend. So I've been catching up on those, but I might take a break from it this afternoon and stick something good on the telly. Lots of love going on in the chat. Yeah, today is definitely a duvet afternoon. It really is. Sorry, I'm just checking the stats. So what are we up to this afternoon? What have you all got planned? And for the rest of the week, has anyone got anything fantastic going on that they want to share? Is it just a normal week? Because some weeks I hope for just a normal week, a boring week where nothing happens that we have to worry about. You're not sharing your notification sounds. See, part of me is curious and part of me is scared. I do think so. I don't know what that is. And I'm slightly worried about it. Yeah, the rest of the week this week is pretty normal for us. I will spend the afternoon doing housework and sorting out, all of the boring mum stuff like dinner. And spend some time with my little one when she finishes school, and then my eldest when she finishes school. I'm giving myself tomorrow and possibly Thursday off, and then I'll do some more recording Friday morning, and then we've got a live Friday afternoon. I have no idea what to do with Friday, so if you have any topics you want me to cover, whether you want to do something spoopy or have a chat about something that you feel you need a little bit of support on, let me know. You can email me if you want to stay anonymous with your suggestion, craftalytical@gmail.com. You're visiting your grandkid and kid today, I don't think so. Are you old enough to have kids and grandkids? That's a wild revelation to me. How did I not know this? Yvonne Hates Injustice is staying in today because it's raining heavily. I do think so is then work. Yeah, that is really nice to spend time with your kid and grandkids. Oh, your kid/grandkid is one person. Well, now I'm very confused. But that's okay. It's a permanent state for me. I don't mean to pry, sorry. Yeah, I don't blame you for staying in today. Yvonne Hates Injustice because it's crappy weather. It's not raining here. I mean, we've had a few showers, but we've not really had any rain. But it's like 45 mile an hour winds and pretty chilly out there. It's 18 or 16 degrees, which is in the low 60s for those in the States. Steve is going to be avoiding the rain. I don't blame you. Yeah, another time I don't think so. That is absolutely fine by me. Sorry, I didn't mean to pry. Yeah, I think this week's weather here in the UK is going to be rubbish, isn't it? So I don't blame you. Stay inside if you can. Wrap up warm if you have to go outside. But enjoy those falling leaves. My back garden's covered in leaves at the moment from the trees. So we've got trees out the front of the house that are just being blown all over the place, and they've taken over my back garden. It's windy in the moors too. Been raining up by you as well? I don't think so. Oh, it's outside. And for the first time since we've moved in, all of the windows, it feels really weird. But any breeze, because it's so cold and it's such a big breeze. I say breeze, it's windy, it's not breezy. It just blows through the house and you end up with that horrible kind of feeling. I need to get all of my winter socks out. I've got some amazing wool socks from the Nordic socks, and they are thing ever. Really nice, thick wool socks without being scratchy. Oh, yes, you've got to walk to work later. I don't think so. Definitely wrap up warm. Definitely. And be safe out there with the change in the weather. Yucky. Yeah, just take it easy and look after yourself. And just plan for those holiday days. Keep those in mind. You can do this. Sorry, just checking stats and things. YouTube is not receiving enough data. Don't know what's going on there. Oh, I love a good pair of cozy socks as well. I do think so. Oh yeah, speed walking your way to work. So you've built up a sweat. I don't blame you. And there's also, there's something really nice about walking in autumnal weather. Stream is back to being healthy. Yeah, there's something really nice about that. I love the sound of crispy leaves underneath my feet. I love that sound. There's something so comforting about it for me. Yeah, autumn is definitely my favourite time of the year. I'm hoping Stream Elements is going to kick in and do its job in a minute. Because it should. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do that thing where I post everything. I bet you are a lot fitter now. I do think so. Walking is really good for you. It really is. Especially if you can get some speed up. Sorry, just checking. I have no idea why Stream Elements just won't work for me. Oh, yeah. See, even in a wheelchair, Yvonne, like just having that sound around you there's something really peaceful about it, isn't it? And it's, the year coming to an end and the possibility of regrowth. I just love the sound. I love watching the leaves change colour. I'm really lucky we're surrounded by, no matter where you're looking out from the house, you can see leaves. You can see the leaves changing, and that's really nice. You've never walked slow in your life. That doesn't surprise me about you. Knowing what I know about you, that does not surprise me. Yeah, I love autumn. I love autumn. Makes me happy. Right, incoming spam. I'm gonna post some links. I really need to. I need to set all of this out in a Word document, including all of the channels that we support, and add in Foxfire, because she is awesome. She really is just awesome. And really lovely. Really, really lovely. You also need to update this with, I don't think it's got, no, it doesn't. I don't think it's got the memberships on Coffee, which are available for just £2 a month. £3 a month, which really does support the channel. And you get early access to the podcast episodes, members only chats. We've got a Telegram group. extra giveaways and all sorts of other stuff like that. Sorry, just catching up on chat. Everyone moves slow in the village. Everything happens on northern time, I feel. Different areas have it. So we had Devon time when I lived in Devon. And we also used to joke that there's three queues at the local post office. One for the post office, one for the kiosk, and one for just having a chat. You know, I knew if my then mother-in-law was going to pop to the post office, she'd be gone for several hours because there'd always be someone coming in that she knew. And it's a really nice way of life, but it's just frustrating when you're trying to get somewhere. Talking to animals in this game is adding years to my life. Why is that? Why is that, Steve? Is it just mind-numbing? I don't understand. I feel I need to play this game because there's been a few comments that people have made that I've not understood, and I feel I need to. Sorry, I'm just going to. Copy in the membership link for anyone watching on replay as well. You can become a member and really, really support the channel. Do you know, after putting these links in the chat, we've lost 3 viewers. I'm really sorry, but if you don't ask, you don't get. Everyone insists that you should ask, even if it upsets people. So I'm just following advice. It's not my fault. Not my fault. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just checking. Yeah, it is on there. That's good. Yeah, I think this week is definitely going to get better for us. I have faith and hope in the universe. Oh, it's adding years to your life, as in, you know, it's refreshing and making you feel good because everyone is different and unique. I love games where the creators, and I talk about this a lot, is consuming someone else's creativity can be just as good as being creative ourselves. So games like that where they've really put thought into everything, every aspect, little details like that. It's really satisfying. There's something really wonderful about it, isn't there? I love little things like that. Brooklyn Nine-Nine is another show that I can go back and watch over and over. And the reason is because the actors in the background, like if you're not concentrating on the people in the foreground doing the talking and stuff like that, and you're concentrating on what's happening in the background, there are lots of little details that are just beautifully done by the actors and the props department and everything else. And I love watching that. Welcome back. Ida thinks though. I didn't realise that you had popped off. I'm glad to have you back though. It's literally just D&D. Yeah, Baldur's Gate always was like the original was very role play oriented, and I really enjoy that that aspect. I like being able to kind of choose your own adventure, right? Because you get what you put in, especially when they're so attentive to detail. Steve, I thought you'd enjoy Brooklyn Nine-Nine. The other one that I really recommend for just pure surreal silly is Spaced. Spaced I could go back and watch. And Red Dwarf. I can go back and watch. A funny show is the supermarket one that I can't remember. I don't know that one. Sorry, I do think so. Rolled a natural one and now the cat hates me. That's just real life, Steve. That is just real life. Loved Red Dwarf. I think it's on Netflix. I am pretty sure it is on Netflix for rewatch. It's very much of its time, and some of the ideas of what it's like in the future haven't really panned out, but it's still just a fab show. It really is. Superstore. Steve James says, yes, Superstore. Just some of my settings are so squiffed today. I've not watched it. I've seen some kind of ads for it, but I've not actually watched it. Thanks, Steve. That was bugging me. Isn't it the worst when you cannot remember the name of something or someone, and it just irritates you for however long it takes to remember stuff? It does me anyway. I'm a nightmare for it. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, my brain is all over the place. Sorry. There's something really squiffy going on in the background. I apologise. Yeah, it's always really great to have someone like Steve around because Steve remembers this stuff. Steve is our resident intelligent person. Also, our resident surrealism comedy expert. What We Do in the Shadows is your favourite sitcom at the moment. I've not heard of that, so I'm going to have to make a note and have a look. Sorry, just kind of... What We Do in the Shadows. My hands are so bad at the moment. I'm going to have to use my left hand. I'm hooked on Handmaid's Tale with Elizabeth Moss. Come on. But won't get the new one until next year. Aww, that's sad. Elizabeth Moss is in The West Wing as well. She's a very talented actress. She's underrated, or she has been for a very long time, and I think it's really good that she's finally getting the recognition she deserves. I watched some Handmaid's Tale but lost Netflix and I never went back to it. Oh, I'm sorry, I did think so. That's really crap. We don't watch a huge amount of like TV. Pretty much the only thing I regularly watch on TV is Formula One racing. Otherwise, it's streaming services. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've sat and watched anything on TV. Sorry, cat just jumped on me. Steve says it's like a documentary style comedy about vampires. Now, this sounds like something I need in my life. Like, seriously. That sounds right up my alley. I enjoy the silly, and I enjoy the vampires. Buffy, that's another one that I can go back and rewatch. Again, very much of its time, and there's some stuff in it that you probably wouldn't have today. But yeah, like I really enjoy Buffy. Yeah, I was hooked onto someone else's Netflix. Oh, naughty. It's on Prime. Ooh. Your cat is rubbing her face onto on your phone now. She just loves you. She wants your attention. That's all it is. Pet therapy is also something we all need right now, I think. For sure. Sorry, I was just double checking the chat. Right, so because it takes me forever to close off a video, and I'm very aware of that, and I'm trying, has anyone got anything else they would like to share before I close off for the day and prepare for the onslaught of my youngest, and try and work around her and everything else, and try and get some of this finished? Well, I say finished, it's not going to get finished. Each 2-row repeat is about 45 minutes. It takes such a long time to get anywhere. Yep, all the time too. She's too cute when she's being naughty. Cats are like that. Well, pets in general are like that. They learn how to make themselves look cute for their owner. So they'll try different things until they get the right response from you. So the rats and my dog do exactly the same thing. The rats have learned that if they lower their ears a little bit, they get scruffles because they look too cute. Yeah, I'm not going to watch anything like that around the little ones. Yeah, I tend not to watch much that's adulty. Like Red Dwarf, I don't mind so much, or, you know, The West Wing or Bones, I don't mind so much because they're both really curious, and like they don't mind a bit of gore. They both love Halloween and zombies. Our youngest, if she can twist my arm into it, she wants zombie makeup all of the time. Your cats are cute too. Yvonne hates injustice. I bet they are. The photographs I've seen of them are beautiful. Rats are cool. I love my rats. I really do. They're like little puppies. We had girls before. We've now got boys, and they're definitely a bit more scrappy. But really, I mean, as far as animals go, different genders, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, other than the boys are a bit more scrappy. But yeah, I love Ed and Larry. I really do. They're amazing. It's a shame that they don't live that long, in the grand scheme of things. And And that makes me sad. I'd love a cat, but the other half is allergic. And the kids would probably terrorise the cat. I don't think they're both animal obsessed, and I think it would be harder to train them than it would be the cat, and that's not fair on the cat. And of course the other half is allergic, so oh yes, video your cat sitting and giving you her paw. That is very cute. Rats are cute, Steve, I agree. Domesticated ones. Wild ones are just a little bit worrying when you see them kind of around your property. The last thing you need is rats or mice in your garden or your shed, for sure. Right, so I'm going to drop the links one more time. So you've got memberships. If you fancy supporting on a regular basis and getting some extra content from me and extra time in terms of kind of, live hangouts and early access to things. No, not that one. I'm going to drop the link for tips. There is no obligation. I don't expect anything, but the links are there in case someone wants to. You can also find other ways to connect and get in touch by checking out the link tree that's got all of my socials and other places to get involved. Oh, I love it. I love the fact that your cat chose you. Pets really do choose who their owner is. And I think, for us, when we got Husker, our dog, he definitely chose Dale. He prefers men, for sure. But I mean, he adores me because I feed him. What's a tip? A tip is if you want to pop some money through Stream Elements, or you can do it on the coffee page as well as a one-off. You can do that through those links. It's like a donation or a tip for the work that I do, because they are always appreciated. I am completely self-funded. Well, I say completely. I have one amazing member, one member of the Craftalytical cheerleading squad who I adore. But all of this is self-funded. It costs, believe it or not, around £200 a month to run a very basic setup for the YouTube channel. So any tip goes towards running costs, goes towards electricity, broadband. What else does it go towards at the moment? It also goes towards research. Some of the resources that I use aren't free, that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, anything like that is hugely appreciated. As are likes. If you enjoy the streams and the videos, do hit a like on the video or stream. It's not for YouTube, it's purely for my vanity, but also it helps me know that what I'm doing is something you're enjoying. With a stream like this, because it's a new setup, it's nice to know, if I have 8 people watching and 4 likes, I know I'm on the right track. If I have 6 likes, then I know that I'm doing the right thing. If I only get 2 likes, it means I've got to work on it. And it's a good indication for me. If you like the idea of what I'm doing and you like me, why not consider subscribing or watching some of the other content on the channel to see whether it is for you, and if you think what I do will be helpful. It helps the channel grow. We are, I think, 2 away from our goal of 100 subscribers for our giveaway of Senor Fluffy Bot, who is a little needle felted puppy dog with a cute little tail that I am I'm going to send to a random lucky viewer on a live once we hit 100 subscribers. Thank you very much for being here, everyone. Have a great rest of your day and this week, and I will see you on Friday for our live. And again, if you've got any suggestions for what you want me to talk about, whether it's paranormal or true crime related or mental health related, you can let me know by dropping me an email or in the chat here. Email is craftalytical@gmail.com, and we'll talk about that on Friday. Thank you very much. Have a great week.